Mom Hacks, episode number 51. My name is Krista, and I'm your host. It's January 24th, 2024, and since today's episode falls on the 24th of the month, I thought this week would be an ideal time to break down my 24 in 24 with you. Now, if you're just joining me, you may have no clue what I'm talking about. So, if you go back and listen to episode 47, where I reviewed my 23 in 23, I give a pretty thorough overview on this concept I picked up from author, mother, and host of the Happier podcast, Gretchen Rubin. In a nutshell, think of it as a new and improved version of New Year's resolutions, only these are fun, no pressure, and things on a list you actually want to do. Truly, go listen to episode 47 for the full scoop. We're going to get into mine here in just a moment. But before we do, I just want to say thanks for tuning in, Mama. I started this podcast because babies don't come with instructions. As of this recording, I am chasing around a 5-year-old that no amount of Googling, mom groups, or books were able to prepare me for. There's a lot of stuff people don't talk about when it comes to pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, and postpartum. And as someone who was previously terrified of all of the above, I'm here to help you pull back the curtain on all of it. And every now and then, it may get a little messy. We may share a little TMI, but that's why you're here, right? My goal is you'll leave every episode feeling refreshed, inspired, and hopeful, knowing you are not on this mom journey alone. Now, there's a lot of subject matter to cover when it comes to mom life, and we are covering it all. So let's dive into my 24 in 24. If you went back and checked out episode 47, some of the items here on my 24 in 24 list may sound a little familiar because there were several things from last year that I did not accomplish, but that I felt like they were worthy of moving over into this list because they are things that I really would like to do, such as, in no particular order, these are not ranked. However, number one that I have on my list for my 24 in 24 is to organize a mom's gathering. Y'all, it is hard to not only make mom friends, but to stay connected with mom friends. As I've gotten older, something I have definitely embraced more is focusing on quality over quantity. That's something that I have embraced in many areas of my life, but certainly when it comes to my mom friends. And it is hard to not only forge those connections, but also to continue building them and to keep them fresh and to just stay in touch with people. And so, one thing on this list that is very important to me for this year is to organize a mom's gathering, whether it's having some mom friends over into our home, having some type of mom's brunch, or having a mom's night out, going somewhere and just having dinner together, letting somebody else watch the kiddos, and just enjoying fun mom time where all we're focusing on is ourselves and good conversation and a yummy meal. I'm really excited to get this on the books. Okay, the next item on my 24 and 24 list is to print photos for our stairway. Now, I kind of got this halfway done. My 23 and 23 version of this item was to print photos for the entry and stairway. So we got our entryway organized with lovely photos that our family enjoys. And now we need to do the same for our stairway leading to upstairs. It's completely blank, and we have so many photos, so many posters. I'm really interested in doing a gallery wall for the stairway. So I'm excited to tackle this task. The next item on my list is to host neighbors for a potluck or a backyard gathering. So, just like it's important to me to nurture and build on those mom friendships that I have We really love our neighborhood. We enjoy the community where we live, and we want to get to know more of our neighbors better. And the neighbors that we do know, we want to get to know them on an even deeper level. So, this is something that we talked about doing last year as well. And I'm excited to get a date on the books for this. Right now, I feel like is the worst time of year to plan to plan something like this. So, this is probably going to be either a spring, summer, or fall thing, but our family loves fixing barbecue. We love grilling. We love doing fish fries. So I have no doubt that when we do get this on the books, this is going to be a great old time with our neighbors here in our community. So cannot wait to host our neighborhood potluck or backyard gathering, however it shakes out. Okay, next on my list is to read 12 books, and this includes audiobooks. Last year, I read, how many books did I read? Last year, I read at least 6 books, which is great because I'm pretty sure the year before that, I probably read 0 books. I love reading. I'm such a reader. I was the kid that when the book fair came to school, I always asked for money from my parents, and every day I would spend it, and the next day I would ask for more book fair money. I loved buying books as a kid and reading them. I was a voracious reader. And even on into my young adulthood, I've always loved reading. It seems like as soon as I became a mom, a lot of my reading stopped because there's always 500 other things to fill that time. So when my husband and I went on our honeymoon, I actually took a couple of books with me and I read them all. And it was so much fun. So it was really nice to kick off last year because my husband and I went on our honeymoon at the end of 2022. So going into 2023, I felt like I really had that the reading bug had bit me and I was excited and eager to read. I would have loved to have read more than 6 books, but that was still better than what I'd done previously. So this year I'm eager to double that. I already have 1 audiobook under my belt. Woohoo, and January's not even over yet, and I am reading a paperback book right now, and it's phenomenal. And we are going to be headed out on vacation next month, and I'm really excited to go to the library and check out a couple of books for me to take on that trip as well. I am certain that I will be able to read a book or possibly 2 while we're away on this vacation. That will be fun. But that's my goal for this year, is to read 12 books, whether they're physical books that I'm turning the pages with or audiobooks. Either one, they will count towards this goal. My next goal is I want to release 52 podcast episodes, and seeing as how I am a weekly show, that should be a piece of cake. Now, I say that, and last year I did not miss a single week. In 2023, every week starting March 1st, I released an episode. So I'm confident that this year I can do it again. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a bonus episode or 2 in there. We will see how those cards fall. But yes, my goal is to continue on with the weekly episode releases for this podcast. I'm having so much fun with it. I'm really enjoying the feedback and the reviews from you over on Apple Podcasts and on Facebook. And every now and then I'll get an email or a Facebook message, and those just brighten my day. So thank you. Keep those coming. So this goal actually moves me on over into the next goal. So every one of my podcast episodes has a corresponding blog post. If you go to secretmomhacks.com, every episode has show notes and links and information there from what was covered in that particular episode. So I plan to continue doing that. So every episode will have its blog post. Additionally, I want to be doing more blog content over on secretmomhacks.com. So, in addition to those 50-ish, it should be at least 52 blog posts with the corresponding episodes over the course of the year, my goal is to publish a total of 75 blog posts in 2024. So, in addition to those blog posts that relate to the episode, I want to be sharing some extra resourceful content with you all. So, stay tuned to secretmomhacks.com. More to come there. All right. My next goal is to secure 5 voiceover jobs. So I had this voiceover goal on my list for last year. I think I had 10. Yeah, I said I wanted to get 10 VO jobs. Well, I got 0 because my focus has been my podcast. So this is still important to me. It's still a priority. I have cut that goal in half just because since I started out shooting for 10 and I got 0, I figure cutting that in half, meeting halfway, that's still a doable, realistic goal. So my priority is still this podcast. When I do have that extra time and energy, then I'm also going to be focusing on the voiceover side of what I do. My next goal is to reach 1,000 monthly downloads for this podcast. I am not there yet. I am at a fraction of that currently, but I have listeners, I have downloads. My podcast is growing, so that is exciting, but I am not quite yet at 1,000 monthly downloads. I know I can get there. I'm working on my plan. I'm really excited about the marketing and some of the initiatives that I have on my vision board and in my planning book for 2024. But that is a big goal for me to reach 1,000 monthly downloads. My next goal on this list is to attend 3 podcast and or voiceover meetups. So anytime you can connect with like-minded people in person, I think it's hugely beneficial. I don't know if you are familiar with what a meetup is or not, but meetups, if you go to meetup.com, you connect with like-minded people online on meetup.com with the goal of eventually connecting offline. So for example, I am a member of the Nashville podcast meetup here in the Nashville area. And I know there's also a meetup for voiceover professionals. I have not yet joined that group, but I plan to. So, anytime you can connect in person and engage with other people who are a part of the community that you're wanting to get even more involved with, I think that's so important for everybody involved, especially as you're wanting to continue establishing yourself in a particular industry like I am. So, I'm excited about attending those meetups this year. The next item on my list is to make bath bombs. You've heard me. Well, if you're new around here, you wouldn't have heard this. But if you are a dedicated listener to Secret Mom Hacks, you know I like my baths. Self-care is very important to me, and I love bath bombs. And at one point, I was spending lots of money on really delicious smelling bath bombs that felt so good that just it was a sensory experience, and I was spending way too much money on them, and I realized I could make really pretty yummy smelling bath bombs myself, and I got all the ingredients to do it, and I did it 2 or 3 times, and then various things in my life happened and I haven't gotten back around to doing those, but I still take baths, mainly without bath bombs right now. So I am really excited to make some bath bombs. I'm going to have a bath bomb party at some point within the next couple of months where I make a ton of bath bombs and I load myself up on them. Who knows? Maybe I'll give a few as gifts to friends. We'll see. I may decide to be greedy and just keep them all for myself. Who knows? Who knows? But I am definitely going to make some bath bombs this year. Okay, the next to do in my 24 and 24 is to book a rage room experience. Again, this is another item that moved on over from my 23 and 23. No further explanation needed because I talked all about what a rage room is over in episode 47, but I am pumped to get this one on the schedule. I also want to host a game night with friends and family. Our family loves games and board games, card games, strategy games, all of the above. We love playing games, even with our daughter. We love making it a whole thing with the whole family. And when you have a game night, it's like there's always something to talk about because you're talking about the game or how to win or who just won or whatever the case may be depending on what game you are playing. But I love that game nights are very rarely dull. I've never been to a dull game night. So I am eager to get a game night on the books with our friends and or family. Maybe we'll have a friends game night and then a couple weeks we'll do a family game night. Maybe we'll mix it all up and have friends and family together. Who knows? I'm not sure how we'll end up scheduling this, but I know it's going to be fun. And especially my favorite game right now, which it's kind of an old school game because I remember my grandma playing it with my parents when I was younger. Farkle. If you have never played Farkle, you just need to stop what you're doing right now and you need to go to Amazon, search for Farkle, and order it. Okay. You will thank me. Our family has had so much fun with Farkle. And my other favorite game is Balderdash. If you've never played Balderdash either, it is so much fun. Truly, order both of those games, Farkle and Balderdash, for your next game night. I promise you will not be disappointed. Okay. Those are definitely going to be two games that we're pulling out when we finally get this game night on our books. Now, let's take a quick break. Hey, Secret Mom hackers. Are you a budget savvy family looking for a financial tool that can help you take control of your spending and savings? Well, I've got something fantastic to share with you. Cube Money. Cube Money is the ultimate budgeting solution that's tailor-made for families who want to manage their money with ease and precision. Here's why our family loves it. It's just like the envelope system we all know, but digitized. Imagine the simplicity of old school envelope budgeting, but with a modern twist. Cube Money digitizes the envelope system, allowing you to allocate funds to specific spending categories right from your smartphone. It's like having a set of virtual envelopes for groceries, entertainment, and more, all in one app. The whole family benefits. Cube Money isn't just for individuals. It's designed to accommodate the needs of your entire family. You can set up sub-accounts for your spouse and kids, helping everyone stay on the same financial page. It's a powerful tool for teaching financial responsibility to your children. Stress-free savings. Planning for the future is a breeze with Cube Money. You can easily allocate funds for savings goals, whether it's a family vacation, a new home, or an emergency fund. It's all about turning your financial dreams into reality. So if you're ready to simplify your family's budgeting, track your spending with precision, and achieve your financial goals, give Cube Money a try. Visit their website at Cube Money to learn more. That's QUBE money.com to learn more and use the discount code SECRETMOMHACKS, all one word, SECRETMOMHACKS, to get 2 months of their premium or family plans for free. Cube Money, on a mission to see you live more and worry less. Try Cube Money today. Now back to the show. Okay, lucky number 13 on my list here is to run a marathon. Now, I was training for a marathon last year. Due to various reasons, ended up not running that marathon. I ran a half marathon, which was amazing, and I'm going to be running another half marathon in May, which I am stoked about. However, I am really determined to run a marathon this year, primarily because I turned 40 in December and I want to be able to say that I ran a marathon before I turned 40. Okay, in the year I'm turning 40, I will run a marathon. I'm putting it out into the universe. I have learned my lessons from my training experience and my running injury, and I've learned what my body can withstand and I've learned what my body can endure. And I have learned the importance of stretching, most importantly. When you're young and you're in school and you're in PE and you warm up and you cool down and you're stretching so well, right? Nobody tells you how important that really is as you age and as you maintain physical activity. As you get older, that stretching becomes increasingly important. That's all I'm going to say. If you're not stretching currently, you need to be. I was the person who I've been running for the last 2 years, and very rarely did I stretch before or after my runs. And I have learned that lesson, and I don't have to learn it again because it was a very painful, not fun lesson. So, lesson learned, stretch. Always stretch before or after whatever physical activity is that you're doing. Stretch, 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 my friends. Okay. The next item on my 24 and 24 list is to visit with some of my out of town friends. I'm not going to name them by name, but I have several friends who live outside of the Tennessee area that I miss deeply and that I really want to hit the road to travel to and go see. So I'm hopeful that I can get at least one of these on the books this year. Fingers crossed. The next item on my list is to use Hooked on Phonics and Hooked on Math 5 days a week for 20 minutes with my little one. Okay, so I have a 5-year-old. She's in kindergarten. We are working on reading, working on math, all of the things kindergartners need to be up to speed on. And we actually really enjoy the Hooked on Phonics and math games. She really enjoys those. Anytime you can gamify learning, I found that's what makes it more appealing. So we've been haphazardly using the Hooked on Phonics apps. And so for this year, I really want to make a concerted effort to use those apps 5 days out of the week for 20 minutes each time. The next item on my list is to book a media tour for Secret Mom Hacks. There are so many other phenomenal podcasts out there, many of whom I'm going to be inviting onto this podcast, some of who've already even been on here, which is exciting, but several of whom I would like to show up on their podcast as well. So, one of my plans for this year is to do a media tour where I go and speak on other podcasts outside of my own. So, more to come there. The next item is to plan my 1 year of podcasting anniversary celebration. And this is fast approaching, y'all, because Secret Mom Hacks officially launched March 1st of 2023. So March 1st of 2024 will be my 1 year anniversary. It's just over a month away, and I have some ideas. I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to pull at least one of them off. So more to come there, but I cannot believe it's going to be a year. It's so hard to believe. In some respects, I feel like it's been 5 years. And in other respects, I feel like I started 3 months ago. So I've learned a lot this past year, and I know there's going to be even more learning and some exciting things to celebrate this year too. But stay tuned for what's to come as I celebrate my 1 year of podcasting milestone. More info TBD. My next item that I want to do is take a family camping trip. Our family has all the things we need to be able to take this family camping trip. We have an awesome truck, we have tents, we have all of the eating and cooking things necessary. We have sleeping bags. We have all of the things. We just need to book it on our calendars. So, adding that family camping trip to our many other excursions we have on our schedule for this year. Okay, this next item is another podcast related item. I will invite 50 people from my Dream 100 list for an interview. If you don't know what a Dream 100 is, go Google it. But I have my Dream 100, and I am going to start inviting people from that list onto this podcast for an interview. I have big dreams and goals and ideas for this podcast, and the only way to move towards that is to what is it they say? Eat the frog, right? So I am eating the frog. And as scary as it might be to sometimes reach out to certain people who are so crazy, insanely successful, that's what you got to do. So this year, I will be inviting 50 people from that list, and we will see where it goes. Time will tell. Okay, we're rolling in on the last couple of items. If you've made it this far, thank you. Stick with me. Just a few more things to share. The next item on my list is that I want to frame and hang art upstairs, similarly to the gallery wall coming up our steps, up the stairway. We have bare walls upstairs. The only room that has any art or decoration is our daughter's, as it should be, right? She has the coolest, most decorated, lovely room. I adore her room. Love how we have decorated that space. But the rest of our space needs decoration too. So we're going to be decorating our upstairs as well. The next item on my list is to batch record 15 solo podcast episodes so I can stay working ahead. Now, if you are not a podcaster, this may not make sense, but maybe it will. So the idea is I release a weekly show, and it's never fun because believe me, I've been there. And in fact, that's what I'm doing right now. I am recording this episode on Monday, January 22nd, and this episode is going to come out in 2 days on Wednesday, January 24th. I do not always like being in this position of the pressure of having a podcast episode coming out that same week. There was a time last year where I was like 10, 12 episodes ahead, and it was the most glorious feeling because life happens. So it's really nice to have that buffer to have a couple episodes in the can if you need to move some things around, or if somebody gets sick, or whatever the case may be. If you want to take a vacation, you know that those episodes are rolling out. So within the next couple of weeks, I am going to be batch recording. That's where I sit down and I record 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes in one day so that I can be working ahead and take vacation and relax and meditate and have a little sanity and not be working 48 hours out like I am right now. I'm really excited about getting that batch record day on my calendar. The next item is to host a monthly family meal. Y'all, I was so proud of myself because we actually had this one on the books for a week or two ago, a weekend or two ago. My husband and I, we were both off, and it was a Saturday. We invited his family, my family, and everybody was going to come over to our house for a meal. And then we had snow here in Middle Tennessee, and our household was hit with sickness, and it was just not fun for anybody. And so we had to cancel that family meal, but we're going to be getting it back on the books soon. And one of my biggest things when our family came together, I could not wait to use my grandmother's dining room table and her hutch. And we've just decorated our dining room so beautifully. And to bring our family over and have a yummy homemade cooked meal, I think is so special. And none of us are getting any younger. And so this is an intention on my 24 and 24 list that is really special and precious to me because it just means a lot to have all of our family in our home, all under one roof, sharing a meal together, laughing, smiling, and just enjoying each other's company. So I'm bummed that we had to cancel our very first one, but I know we're going to get it back on our calendars for within the next couple of weeks. Okay, 2 more goals to go. My 23rd one is to participate in 6 to 8 races this year. We've already done one. My husband and I and a friend, we did a New Year's Day 5K here in our area. It was a blast. It was freezing, but it was a blast. And then I am going to do a marathon at some point. So that's 2 out of my 6 to 8. So, and I'm registered for a half marathon for May. So that would be 3. So I'm hopeful that I can at least do 6 races this year. I love having races planned. I'm not trying to break any speed records or be a top 1, 2, or 3 in my age group or anything like that. I love doing these races because it puts you around other people who are passionate about the same thing you are, about running, about staying active, and it gives me a goal, a physical goal to work towards. And I found that when I have that, that really just helps me keep moving. So I'm excited about doing a handful of races this year. And I'm happy that I already have one under my belt. My final goal for this year, again, these were in no particular order, but the last goal that I want to share on my list today is to volunteer 3 to 4 times with a local nonprofit that serves families and moms in particular. So, one of those would be Moms Loving Moms. I interviewed their CEO, Beth Wheeler. Those episodes came out within the last couple of weeks. There are another couple of nonprofits here in the area that are of interest to me too. But I think it's so important to just reach out and be involved with, be a part of the community that we live in. It gives you a great opportunity to get to know other people who have similar interests as you. And again, as I mentioned at the very top of this episode, it's hard to get out and make friends, especially mom friends. I'm excited to get involved with some of these groups and get to know some other moms and families in this area while also supporting a cause that's near and dear to our hearts. Okay, we have reached the end. Again, if you have hung with me this far, thank you so much. I'm curious if you have put together a 24 in 24 for you, or if maybe this has compelled you to do that. If so, I would love to hear about it. Maybe you want a little accountability with your 24 in 24. I know that always helps. Feel free to shoot me a note over at secretmomhacks.com. I would love to hear what is on your list. As we wrap this episode, I want to remind you that it is hard to take care of those you love if you're not taking care of yourself. So, this is just that gentle reminder to stay hydrated. Make time for a 5 to 10 minute walk around your office, your house, head over to the park maybe. Or if you can squeeze in a 30-minute activity that's going to get your heart rate up and make you sweat, amazing. Don't forget to wash your face, slather on a great overnight moisturizer before bed, and sunscreen in the morning. Your skin will thank you. I appreciate you joining me on this episode of Secret Mom Hacks today and hope you found today's topic helpful. If that's the case, please subscribe for free if you haven't already. Give me a 5-star rating and leave a review sharing your favorite takeaway so far. Make sure you stop by secretmomhacks.com where you can find transcripts, resources, and more. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and until then, you've got this, Mama.